Members of the Ukrainian parliament are meeting with more Washington officials. It is part of a three-day trip visiting our local Ukrainian community and state leaders, including the lieutenant governor. They flew thousands of miles to Washington because of the war in Ukraine, which drove at least 16,000 refugees to find a new home in Washington state. King 5's Angelique Cockney joins us now in the studio. So, Angelique, what is the message from Ukraine during this trip?
Well, their message is clear. Don't forget about us and the 10,000 Ukrainian civilians who died in the war that has no real end in sight.
February 24, 2022, the day Russian forces invaded Ukraine may feel as distant as the country itself. But for Ukrainians, it's still a part of life as they now know it.
People are dying every day. Drones are attacking us.
On Saturday, the capital city, Kyiv, was hit by what officials are calling the largest Russian drone attack since the war began.
Ukraine is bleeding and paying very high price for our freedom.
Anatoly Reichnets and Andriy Zupanin are both in Washington this week, representing Ukraine during meetings with city and state leaders, including with Lieutenant Governor Denny Heck on Tuesday.
As we read in Bible,
Reichnets is a bishop, Zupanin the chairman of the Parliament Subcommittee on Natural Gas.
That's our fate, and we agree to carry it on, but we need support.
After the invasion, President Biden made it clear U.S. troops would not be sent to Ukraine, but warned of new sanctions on Russia. Demonstrations across the country, including in Seattle, ignited the administration's ban on the import of Russian oil and natural gas. But 21 months later,
we estimate that Russia received over $500 billion in dollars for the trade of natural gas and oil for the last 2 years.
Zupanin says it's not enough when comparing to Ukraine's projected $35 billion spend on defense next year.
And those money are just then investing into plants that build rockets, into plants that build missiles, into plants that build drones. So that is effectively used to kill Ukrainians.
Part of this week's meetings include asking Washington lawmakers to support further sanctions.
Thank you for the support and your help.
But with less than a year until the 2024 election, which could usher in new leadership, Zupanin says he hopes the fight for freedom spreads across party lines.
And actually fighting not for the territory or for the piece of land, but for the right of existence. And here we believe that the United States and Ukraine are on the same page.
I asked Zupanin what people in Washington can do to help right now. He said, call your local representatives each week and ask what they're doing to help Ukraine. Back to you.